Hello, everybody, and welcome back to DED or Dastardly EZ DMing. And by God, Antonio, we have spent so long without an episode here.
Yeah, no, it has been a minute now. I think that was been Joe. Eons, centuries. I can't keep track
I
of it
literally
anymore.
have another 5 years experience right now on DMing.
Yeah, no, that's definitely how time works, and it definitely has been like 5 years since the last DD recording. Most
Yes,
definitely.
yes, it has. Well, for those of you that are new, I am Joey, your 15-year host. I've been playing a whole bunch of different TTRPGs, and I've been a DM for, like I said, about 15 years now. And I'm obviously here with one of my best friends, Antonio.
Hi guys, Antonio here. I've been playing now for about going on 5 years, and and we could say GM in training at this point. I'm a GM in training.
He's
We're
got his
we're getting
training
there.
wheels on.
Got the
Yeah.
training wheels on. I'm a little shaky, but I'm getting there. All right, Joe. And Joe, we, as always, we got some stuff to get into before we start the
Of
story.
course we got some stuff to do. So first off, I would like to thank our sponsor, Adobe Energy, for sponsoring this episode of DED. Always so grateful that they come and give us nice offers, and so I have a nice offer for you in return. If you use our code Patchwork Games, all caps, all one word, you guys can get 10% off of any of their products. And I highly recommend their products because, for one, I've already bought one, and I'm planning to buy their next one because they have a new flavor out. It's supposed to be like blue raspberry lime, and it looks absolutely amazing. I'm going to be spending a lot of time chugging that down in the mornings when I need to wake up, and it's delicious. I gotta say, like, mystery flavor, hands down my favorite. I've already ordered another one. I ran out. W Energy is really good. I cannot recommend it enough for people that feel like they want a replacement for coffee or something that's kind of like maybe a cooler side of the drink side for energy, right? You don't want to chug a Monster that's gonna make you all jittery, or a Red Bull for Christ's sake. I mean, Jesus. I mean, I know. I was there. I was a Red Bull baby for a long time until I realized that I was shaky. And W doesn't make me shaky. So, like I said, go check them out over at dubby.com and use our code Patchwork Games for 10% off. And yeah, Antonio, the next part of this, I know, we're also sponsored by ourselves.
Yes,
Once
can't
again,
forget that.
it's something. It's crazy to know
And
that we get sponsored by ourselves so often.
Joe, I'm not gonna lie to you. There's been times, Joe, where I thought about pulling the sponsorship. I'm not gonna lie to you. There's been a time or two I thought about it.
I wouldn't blame you with the amount of
That
swearing
Joe,
that
he's
goes on.
the mouse swearing Joe. He's a fucking loose cannon. That's all I'm saying.
Yeah.
That dude's got to go. That's all I'm saying.
I'm honest. I should be banned. But yeah, it's gonna be us, and of course our
Yes,
Patreon is gonna have a lot of our episodes for free up there, and it's gonna be ad free, right? That's the best part, right? And everything that you see is gonna be ad free. And of course, we're also getting our Wednesday uploads for the Parasitic Paradigm game, the Coliseum of Madness, and this is going to be really awesome. I know a lot of you watched the first episode, and a lot of you have watched the first couple episodes of the Reemergence game that we are coming. We are still working on it, so don't worry, there'll still be more to come. And with that, I just gotta say, please go check out our Patreon at patreon.com/patchworkgames. We will have all our games up there. Currently, on our Discord, we are running close to 100, getting close to that 100 mark. So that's really awesome to see all the support you guys give us. And of course, if you want to throw us a coin or so, Patreon is going to be where that's going to be at. And look forward to the Reemergence drop here in September. And right after that, we're going to have our Patreon drop of Parasitic Paradigm. And later on in the year, hopefully we'll get that also on a backer kit. So, it's going to be really awesome, guys. I look forward to that. And Antonio, I think I'm done. I think we're done.
You done? Ceasing the shilling at this point?
I gotta be like...
Take that deep breath. Oh, all right.
Yeah.
Then Joe, what's the give us that tagline for the up, Joe.
Yep, the
What are
top
we
line
doing
for this
here?
one, Antonio, you're gonna love it. It's absolutely perfect,
Oh
buddy.
no, oh no.
This one is called Player Felt Entitled because they were in a relationship with the GM, even though they hadn't been dating at all.
Hang on, wait. Back the train up for a second. They felt entitled because they thought
Hey
they
man,
were dating,
hey,
but
just
not
cause you
dating.
getting it on with the GM, I
Well,
mean,
is that okay? Maybe I don't have the context, and we'll get to there. Because was this like a friends with benefits situation where they just kind of like, oh, we're dating, but it's just kind of like strictly online, so we're not really dating? Like, is that what's going on here? Like, what's? I guess we're gonna find out the context here, guys. Because even now I'm curious. Because like, I'm just. You read that, Joe. I think my mind had a stroke for a minute there. So,
it's
so
gonna be
yeah.
a little different one. This one, I
Yeah,
say it every
definitely.
time, but this one's it's always a little different, my man.
I mean, you're not wrong. They always add a little fun twist in there. So please, Joe, let's dive on into this thing.
Okay, all right. Hello again, Reddit. I haven't really used Reddit in about a half a year, and my English still isn't the best, so I hope it's not too bad. Just a quick note, this story does contain some homophobia, so be aware of that. And it just says, I have met a lot of strange and very entitled people and already talked about some of them here in a long series that I might need to finish someday. Also, for some reason, a lot of people just develop crushes on me for no good reason, and well, it happened again. So, let's start with introducing the cast of this story. Katie, a woman around 20, later playing as a warlock, and of course, the problem player. And a lot of other people, but not very relevant to the story. And me as the GM, a guy who's now in his late 20s, and I GM'd their story. I'm currently studying again because why not? If I'm offered the chance by my employer and basically get paid to study for that, I moved in temporarily with two very good friends that were a married couple whose house is in town of the university and is pretty close. Everything started off pretty normal. I just felt a bit strange since I'm about 8 to 10 years older than most of my colleagues. I also never made it a secret that I'm gay, but I would never shove it into other people's faces. But this seems like a necessary context to what happened next. In the first few weeks, I didn't make much contact with the other students because I didn't sleep at university and therefore excluded myself from most of the off-time activities. But when my two friends were out, I went to one of the events and finally connected with some other people. We started a few rounds of werewolf, the turn-based roleplay villagers and blah 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 blah, going into the werewolf that kills you off, right? So there is a very specific ability that gives you the role, like Romeo and Juliet. So if one dies, both die. And with this ability comes a setup in which you two have to be the only surviving people to win. And if one is a werewolf and the other is a villager, if one is a werewolf and the other a villager. Oh, okay.
Yeah, they're talking about game. I do know this game,
Yeah.
so they're talking about the mechanics in the game. So yeah, I do know this. Yeah.
Yeah, I got a little lost in the sauce there.
No, I feel it. Go ahead.
So Katie and I got into a setup with me being the werewolf, so I put up my best skills as a TTRPG game master and always steered everyone, even my fellow werewolves, into a wrong direction. And in the end, Katie and I won the game by her just pretending to be innocent and me just saying the right things. She looked very happy about it and even said it was the most interesting game she ever played. I laughed and said it'd been very fun and pretty funny to me that I had been the wolf. And when I asked why, I pulled up my shirt just enough to show the lower end of my tattoo, which is a set of rainbow-colored wolf paws. Most people just laughed and said it was a funny coincidence. And one person then wished the purely in-game couple good luck and told me she would love to have a hot werewolf as a boyfriend, which I assume she talked about some movie or series and not myself, but who knows. Katie apparently misunderstood that, blushed, and waved her hand, saying that I was above her pay grade, to which I commented that I'm gay, so it wouldn't work out anyway, and I won't consider myself hot either way. So, really fast, man, I mean, I had to just kind of be like, bro, what the fuck was, like, okay, it's fun, like, that's a fun game, and, like, party game and whatnot, but, like, also, like, bro, that's a little, weird.
I gotta tell you, I tried that game on mobile. I fucking hated it. I'm just letting you know now. That's the only thing I know of Werewolf is I tried that game like on the mobile, and I just couldn't get into it. But that's because I was like a new player. Anyways, it's not tantamount to the story, but just did not care for it. Yeah, this is already kind of starting off a little strange, right, Joe? I'm not just the only one thinking this. Start off a little
It's a little strange. You can already see the person kind of trying to dig themselves in there a little bit.
Just a little
I mean,
bit.
okay.
Just a smidge.
Well, just disclaimer here, guys. If somebody is like, "Hey, I'm not interested because of X, Y, Z,"
Yep.
Like this guy had already said, maybe don't do that.
Yep,
Maybe
he's
don't
like, hey,
pursue it.
yeah, exactly. That's when you're just like, oh, okay, hey, I can respect that. You move on. That's it. It's over.
I'm just saying, man. We've
saying.
already got that. No, I'm not really interested in that. I'm kind of into mid, and they're just like, you're so funny. You're like, oh fuck, dude. All right.
Yeah. I'm not sure.
I get what you mean.
Yeah. I can't add anything to it, Joe. Just because, like, you just if someone kind of lays that on you, you just have no choice. It's just kind of like, all right, my bad. Okay.
Just saying.
I'm just saying. I'm just throwing it out there. Like, I don't know. Maybe I'm weird. I don't know.
And it only gets worse, man. It really does.
Oh, Jesus Christ. All right, let's go.
We had a little discussion about my dislike of things like attractiveness pay grades, quote unquote, and all that stuff, but it stayed very civil. When the meeting ending, Katie asked if I wanted to come with her and eat dinner, since she was a bit tired of eating alone all the time.
Ooh. I already don't like that.
Since my friends were still not home but told me they would bring dinner, I offered to just talk with her but declined the dinner part. It turned out to be a good idea because her dinner amounted to a hot pot, which is something I don't like because I really like cooking, and honestly, my friends took full advantage of that. But the talking was nice, and we were talking about TTRPGs, anime series, and all that good nerdy stuff. She was actually confused I knew so much about that because I don't look like a typical nerd, but, well, I am anyway. We also talked about me being a GM at the event, and I really liked the idea and planned on proposing it the next day. After the dinner, she offered me to watch some series together in her room, but I obviously declined that. On the one hand, my friends were back home and waited with dinner, and on the other hand, I'm really not okay going into other people's rooms if I don't know them that well, right? I'm not crazy. She seemed disappointed, but I left with a polite decline and went home. Dinner was great, and watched the series with my friends was a lot of fun, and more than talking with her, since it was just more small talk and being nice. She apparently saw the whole thing a lot different, but I'll get to that later. On the next day, I asked a few of my fellow students if they'd be interested in playing a TTRPG, and the next time we did these evening events, and there'd be way more people interested than I could GM for, but a few others also offered to GM for about 12 plus people that were interested. So we set up a few systems and stories for the event the week after, and it was going great. It was actually the main thing happening that day, and everybody had a lot of fun. I did, however, notice a few times that Katie Sorceress tried a little too hard to flirt with some of my NPCs, so I asked her in an in-game break to turn down, and I'm still disliking romances in-game. She promised, but I didn't feel like she was actually trying. The next weeks passed by pretty uneventful, and I was GMing an event once a week until my short story was over and the TTRPG hype was going down. Katie always sat next to me whenever we played, and still, even if more carefully, tried to romance some of my NPCs, usually multiple at once. And after the event, she kept asking me if I wanted to spend some time with her doing different things, like going on a walk, watching stuff, and so on. She also talked with me between classes and was around most of the time I was in university. I was okay with that since she seemed like a nice person. It was fun talking to her about nonsense. I still refused to go in her room, even if she offered it every single time. And I felt that was like way too personal and invasive, which I wasn't okay with. We did start a new, longer story with a few people who were still interested in playing, and Katie asked if she could play a Tiefling Warlock with an Incubus as her father and patron. It was a little off-put, but by this thought, I kind of told her I wasn't comfortable role-playing that patron. So he would either need to be something else or wouldn't come up that much, and especially with no sexual contact involved. She seemed like she had hoped for some more adult content, but seemed okay with the rules I set, and the rest of the players also said they don't want any sexual content in the game. She did, however, try to seduce way more male NPCs than before by pushing the Incubus heritage, which was annoying to say the least. After a few weeks, she asked after classes if we wanted to continue the story that afternoon on a day where I was always doing stuff with my friends, which I said on multiple occasions, by the way. And I was in fact doing quite a lot with them, but that just been the plan, since they were always happy to have half a week to plan stuff with me. I always took over a fair share of the housework, since I tried to be as good of a guest as I could, so I declined with confused, "Oh, I don't have the time this week," and thought that was it. She wasn't fine with this answer and asked if they couldn't just do something without me. They could, of course, and were doing their own stuff, but the three of us were spending much time together on purpose, so I didn't see her point. She tried to push the topic, but I cut her off with simple, I don't have to discuss my planning with you, you're not my boyfriend or my mom. She left in a huff and didn't message back for a day, but I didn't really notice or care. Which, bro, I'm just saying it.
It's very obvious to tell where the angle is going, right? And I think, DM is kind of a trooper for kind of trying to stick this out.
He's just trying to be a nice guy.
Yeah, they're trying to be nice about it. And this chick is just like, bruh, she is just not giving up. And at that point, you have to set that. I feel like you have to set that hard fucking boundary. You know what I mean?
Dude, just back off. The dude's already said, dude, I'm not interested multiple times by now, right?
Okay, Joe. If this were you, and someone, I know your how to word this. I know your status per se. So
yes. No, I understand. Yeah.
So if you were in this situation, right, and someone's not taking the hint, just put yourself in this gym shoes. Obviously, you're, not home. You're not. God, I can't even say. You're not. Goodness, how can I say this, Joe? Gay?
Yeah.
Is that
funny? Even if I was though, and I was in game, and this person's flirting with my NPCs, every single male NPC. I'm just getting rid of male NPCs. They're all women at this point. If she's not doing it to the women, I'm making a bunch of women NPCs.
There you fucking go.
Gender bendering the villain. They're oh shit, they
gender bender the villain.
They just turned and they're
oh my god, yeah, they just turned her female. I don't know how it happened.
It just happened, bro.
It's the curse upon the land. You guys have to finish you have to finish the campaign, and then everyone will turn back to normal.
You guys broke that magic mirror, and it flip-flopped. I'm just saying, dog. It's pretty crazy. Pretty crazy.
Oh my god. Yeah,
that's how I would do it, and maybe stop. I'd also stop probably hanging out as much. I'd
yeah,
be hey man,
definitely.
I'm a little busy today. I'm probably not gonna make it. Hey, it's cool. Don't worry about it. Just general advice that way. I'd be man, even if it's your friend, which it sounds like she's a pretty cool friend of all things. But bro, if you're noticing she's doing some weird shit like that and she won't bug off with it,
gotta put the foot down.
My whole thing is dude, I'd just be hey, listen, dude, this is purely platonic. I don't want you to think that anything's gonna happen. I'd give him the lowdown right away. Hey, you're kind of making me uncomfortable, and I really like you as a friend, but if you keep pushing, it's gonna make it really fucking weird, dude.
Yeah, no, definitely, and So how long? No, let me ask you this, Joe. How long do you take this before it's like, bro, either you stop or you're out?
It depends. It depends because I think it's on context. Like in this context, like if you have to ask somebody multiple times, like, "Hey, dude, we're not doing sexual content. Come on, dude. Like, stop trying to push for it. Stop trying to push for that stuff. You're making it weird. Like, hey, like if you're making everyone else uncomfortable, dude, please stop."
Yeah, definitely.
Which I understand they're trying to be like, oh, like, you know, it's fine, but like, hey, this is like, they're very good about being like, no.
Yeah.
Like, hands down, like, props to the person that, you know.
This GM knows the power of yes, and they know that.
They do.
They know the power of yes, and they are definitely exercising that with caution of just not be like, oh yeah, you want to do this? Yeah, totally fine. Like, they're at least examining.
Like, the whole, like, room thing every day. Like, that's so fucking weird. Like, dude, that's a no-go for me, man. Like, if somebody's like, oh, like, I'm gonna, you know, do you want to come in my room? You're like,
bruh,
no, I'm good,
no.
man. You're like, do you want to come in my room? It's like,
no,
dude,
I do
if
not.
you ask me again, I'm gonna just like, I don't know, man. Like, I don't know what I'm gonna do. What's gonna happen? Who knows?
You know, it always reminds me of some of these pickup artists. I was just like, oh, you just have to keep trying, do this and that. It's like, dude, no, that doesn't work. If someone says no, just move the fuck on.
No means no in the context of no means yes. That's exactly what I fucking hear when these people keep approaching. They're like, does no mean no? I just think I haven't tried hard enough, personally.
Oh my god. Yeah, no, exactly. That, and yeah.
Yeah, man, it's a crazy story, though. I mean, I'll keep going.
Please.
It just gets weirder, man. So the next day, she wasn't in the classroom when class started, and when she arrived late, she looked awful. I later found out a close friend of hers died that night. Her parents told her that morning. She was really sad, and I just overlooked this stupid incident.
Time out, Joe. Who died?
Just her friend.
Okay. Yeah. Oh, just her friend. Just some rando friend died. You know, it's all good.
Yeah, so it's like one of her friends. So she was pretty sad, and I just overlooked the stupid incident from the day before and tried to be nice as usual. She was talking way more than usual and once leaned against my shoulder without asking, which was the first real contact we had. And it was only because she was just really messed up from what had happened. And I really thought it was just exhaustion. It was just, you know, it was game evening, so I asked if I should cancel, and she said she wanted to play, so I did. However, give her some more free passes for behavior. I usually dislike both in-game and out-game. In-game, she pushed the flirting way more aggressively, and out-game started doing things like touching my hand unnecessarily too much. And when I gave her a glance, it was all minor stuff, and I thought nothing of it, because I just assumed it was unintentional. Which is fair. I mean, if somebody... Okay, that's where I'm like, you can't blame the guy for being like, give him a pass because their friend just fucking...
I know, right? And, okay, Joe, maybe... Am I reading too much into this to think that this person's using this as an excuse to kind of like be closer and more intimate with GM here?
Who knows? Honestly, I think it could be true. I think it's true that like maybe something did happen, and they're just like trying to find comfort in somebody that they know.
Maybe.
Right? So psychologically, it's really easy for somebody to do that, right? Like they're going through something really bad, and they just wanna. They just want to be, you know, coddled too, or you know,
that's fair.
Feel like they're okay, right? And so they look for somebody that's like that. And with this person, they hang out a lot. They had all this stuff going on. So of course, when he's like, "I'm just gonna throw that as water under the bridge and just be like, hey, like it's cool, I get it," you know, trying to be a cool guy, but yeah.
He's again, GM's cool dude. I'll say that he's a cool dude. Like,
he's a nice guy. I'll give him. He's a better guy than I.
Yeah, same.
I definitely would have been like, hey man, like.
I wouldn't be an asshole about it, but I definitely would have enforced the boundary a little bit.
Like, you know, to my sincere condolences and everything, but like, don't touch me. You know, like,
I'm not sure I'd word it that way. I mean, it'd be the same message.
I'm definitely a little more blunt, Antonio.
Jeez, no kidding, dude. Joe just goes right for the jugular.
Cool, and I think you're pretty nice and whatnot. Don't fucking touch me.
Joe just... Okay, go ahead.
So we talked that evening after the game ended, and she seemed better by the minute. So maybe since I was staying later than usual, they had absolutely nothing to do with her, but with my friends having their family over for dinner. When it was late that night, I told her that I would leave because I was tired and all my friends' family should be gone by now. She offered me to stay over and sleep at her place. I took that as her still wanting company because of the loss.
Dude, no,
but
dude.
I declined.
Oh, thank God, okay.
Politely,
right.
of course.
Alright.
Saying that the university rooms were not made for two people, and it's not allowed, technically. So she began heavy crying and told me that she doesn't want to be alone tonight. And well, that doesn't really work on me, unfortunately. Emotional pressuring just makes me resent the idea more. And I told her that she might want to call her parents and talk with them instead. She kept crying and said she just wants someone to be there with her, and why this was so hard to, and why was this so hard for me to understand.
But now do you see where I'm coming from with the manipulation part a little bit here? You see where I'm going with it a little bit here?
It's true, but like I said, I still think
I'm not saying nothing happened.
If it happened, she's definitely using it as leverage.
Bingo.
Yeah. But I declined and told her I have to go home, man. I wasn't even calling her a friend, and I wasn't okay with being her emotional support barrier or one that I'd already have given. Talking and listening is one thing anyone can do, and I would expect as much from others as well, but staying the night is something I would only do for a longtime friend.
Yeah,
but
that's
I had no hard feelings. Asking isn't a problem, and I know she was emotional that night. The next day rolled around, and she looked much better, which I told her, being truthfully happy about it. She smiled and said that she had a good long talk with her parents, and that helped her a lot. Something about that raised my concerns, though, since she looked at me in a way that made me uncomfortable. Between classes, she didn't actually talk with me at all, but with some other girls, which was appreciated on my part, honestly.
Fair.
I hadn't even noticed how much she had been monopolizing my time between classes. Later, I overheard a joking conversations the girls had about, well, all the guys, which amounted to most of us not being really interesting, but apparently 3 others and I were very attractive. I agree with them on the 3 other guys, I mean, hell. But when my name came up, I also heard one girl saying in a joking, tragic tone, well, sadly for us, he's gay. And Katie corrected her by saying that I was just saying I was gay because she wasn't sure about it. Maybe I was bi and just focused on guys lately. One girl laughed laughed about her and reminded her that I literally have a rainbow tattooed in my skin. I would sure as hell be gay, which is really funny. So after classes, Katie came to me like nothing happened and asked if I might have some time to talk a bit before going home. I looked back at her with a blank expression and told her that she might want to ask someone else. She was extremely surprised and asked if she did something wrong. And I said, maybe don't question other people's sexuality if you don't want to hurt them.
Fair, that's fair.
This was my sole response, leaving her alone in the hall. For the rest of the day, she was texting me, but I ignored it, since it contained no apology, and she just kept on doing this the whole weekend. I decided that she had come up with an apology by herself, right? So, of course she didn't, and when we met again the next week, she was completely confused on why I'd been refusing to respond back to her. I was not okay with having an argument about that in front of all the other students, so I just said I was busy. She kept pressing the topic every break until I told her I told you on Friday, and apparently you didn't listen. So she asked if I could repeat what I said, because she pretended like she didn't remember. I repeated what I said and told her I had heard her comment about me. She immediately became defensive and said she would never say that, but the girl who commented back on Friday told her that she absolutely said that, and she can totally understand that this made me upset.
Don't
Katie
line about
it.
Don't fucking lie about it.
I was oversensitive. She didn't apologize and said that was irrelevant, and it was definitely nothing in comparison to the homophobia I had endured over the years, but it told me to stay away from her and then on. So let's get into that a little bit. What the fuck,
dude? What? Are you fucking... Okay, here's the thing. You got caught in 4K. Alright, here's the thing. You got caught. Own up to it.
Dude, there's people that you told that are like, yeah, she said that.
Like, dude, it shouldn't even come to that. It shouldn't even come to, like, those people having to pretty much, like, say, like, dude, yeah, you totally said that. You, at that point, you know you're caught, own up to it. Don't lie at that point. Because Because supposedly y'all are friends too, and all this. So like, if there's any hope for salvaging this friendship, you gotta fucking just come clean, admit to it, say I'm sorry, move the fuck on. Don't lie about it because it's only gonna make things worse. Like I don't
That's
understand
what I'm saying.
her mentality. I don't.
That's what I'm fucking saying.
Joe
It's so
and
weird.
okay, is there? And maybe I missed it. Are they like in high school or are these college kids?
No,
like
they're in college, dude.
They're in college. Okay.
So like they're adults. They're all
fucking adults, dude. Like, come on,
like,
guys.
We talk about that so fucking much too. It's like, dude, bro, how the fuck are you gonna be an adult man or woman person, right? An adult person, and then just like
zero accountability, zero
you
fucking.
Can't. Oh, it pisses me off because I'm like, how the fuck are you guys like functioning people? How are you functioning adults?
It's a good question.
Because it just pisses me off, man. It pisses me off because I'm like, what the fuck? Man, like, this happens a lot, and like, let's be honest, like, the TTRPG element in this isn't really the gameplay, but it's the general cause, right? Like, because they keep playing this game, they keep getting to know each other, keep talking, and like this dude's saying, it's like, I only know you because, like, you just keep talking to me like this, and like, we're friends, but we're not like long time friends and blah 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 blah, right? And to be honest with you, Antonio, he never says anything about like the way, like how it is, right? Like, is this I mean, I just say it. I'm just saying, Antonio, like, as a person like myself, like you know, some people, some dudes look pretty good, you know. As if you're a woman and you say that to, you know, whatever, and this guy's like gay, right?
Right.
He hasn't really said that she looks pretty good. Like even if you're like, hey, like, you
know,
whoa.
So Joe, are we Joe? Let me back this train up just for a second.
I'm just putting it out there.
Joe, are you trying to say she's like a troglodyte or something like that? Like, is that where we go with this?
I wasn't my words, fellas. Just folks.
You know, Joe, I feel like you're implying it.
I didn't say it. It came out of Antonio's mouth. For the record, 32:19. 32 minutes 19 seconds. That came out of his mouth. Wasn't my words. But
you know, Joe, but I feel like can we rewind the tape a little bit? Just Your Honor, can we just go back to about let's say 3150? Go back to 3150 and just see what Joe is implying, Your Honor. I feel like though my client here is not saying this woman isn't attractive, I feel like he's implying she's not attractive.
I feel like maybe if it was an attractive person, like, let's just say I had a guy come onto me,
right?
And I'm like, you're an attractive guy, not gonna lie, you know, you look good, man. Not good in the context that I'm like, you look good, but you know, like, you look good, you know, like, you know, like, but if you're not saying that this whole post far, I have some questions.
Wait.
Now, Joey, don't judge on looks, but listen.
Oh no!
I'm just saying, man.
Okay. Hang on, Joe. Hang on. Let's.
Sometimes a friend's just a friend. You know what I'm talking about?
Joe. Hey. For one. Guy. All right. You want? All right. I'm gonna step in here for a minute because apparently my colleague here, my friend, apparently thinks you should just judge a book by its cover and not the content inside, Joe. And I just have to say, Joe, I'm mildly disappointed.
Hey, it's like a Tootsie Puff. You gotta get from the outside to get to the gooey center, okay? You gotta know when to look and you gotta know when to stop, right? Like I said, and I'm just saying, no shallowness from me that way, but I just was thinking about that the whole time.
I mean, he granted that. Okay, we can definitely just say that OP definitely never mentions that this woman is attractive. So, fair enough. I think attractive can mean more than one thing. By the way, maybe he didn't also like her personality. Maybe he didn't find her intellectually stimulating.
Hey! He said she's a good person.
You know,
And Antonio, you know, me and you are two stallions.
Oh yeah,
So-
no, I'm an absolute stud. Like
6'5", 180 pounds, pure muscle, no fat.
you know, Joe, I feel like if you're 6'5", 180, that's probably a little underweight. You know, you probably need to.
I'm chiseled,
bit
you know.
on.
I'm chiseled. I'm looking like David.
Right,
statue
right.
now, right? Like that's just me. So you know.
Oh my god. Okay, all right, Joe, Mr. Shallow over here.
Hey, 3019. I'm just 3019. That was it. I didn't say nothing. I was just merely making
But-
a
but-
observation for the people to
So,
view.
OP might not have found this woman. He says he's a good friend. That's it. All right, fair enough, OP. Not gonna judge. Hey, no judgment on my end here. But yeah,
I'm just
gosh,
saying if the
I
insides
lost
are
the-
ugly,
I lost the
it's
plot
probably
now.
it's probably the same thing. Insides are
Oh.
ugly, outsides are kind of.
Well,
Not gonna
again,
say-
again, well, there's a saying, Joe. You know, beauty's on skin
The
deep.
eye
like
of the
above.
beholder, which the beholder is underneath water deep, so I don't know what the fuck.
Wait, what? Anyway.
No, don't worry about it. It's a deep reference. The people that know they'll know.
The people who know will know. Okay.
But
What are
back
we even
to the
talking about
story.
now? I feel like we've lost the plot here. What happened?
she kept trying to behave like nothing happened and tried to talk to me like usually, but my answers became short to non-existent.
Oh my gosh.
Apparently, this only made her try harder and harder to get with me and get me to talk to her again. I was already thinking about ending the TTRPG because I wasn't really comfortable playing with her anymore. My friends also noticed that I was annoyed about this, and since his husband had been busy with other things, my friend, the ranger, offered to go to the university gym with me instead of GMing that day. He likes the pseudonym Ranger, so I gave it to him in another horror story, so it's pretty much his nickname. We had a lot of fun, and since the two of us had been working out a lot lately, it's been really motivating each other to really help. I canceled the game hours beforehand, and apparently someone told Katie that I was working out with the guy instead. We were both done some time after the game, and would have started
Katie,
and wanted to get back home.
Don't
Ranger was just changing his shirt when Katie stormed into the locker room.
Katie, no.
The men's locker room.
Katie.
And
no.
I might have to specify, she got stunned when she saw me next to a hot, shirtless guy that was Ranger and stared daggers at him. Ranger, on the other hand, just told her very casually that she confused the locker rooms and put on another shirt. She ran away as fast as she arrived, and we could hear her crying on the way out.
Okay,
Ranger
I'm not
was
gonna.
super confused on the situation and asked how often I told her I'm gay. I shrugged and told them, well, she clearly doesn't believe me. While leaving and going home, Ranger proposed the idea that she might have thought by making a scene I would go after her. But I told them that this would be stupid given the fact she knew I didn't care about her emotional pressuring. We spent the evening talking about the story and sharing some stories about other people who wouldn't get that we weren't interested in. Like a guy who hate bombed Ranger because I wouldn't date him. That was a really funny story as well. The next day started off normal, but the moment I got into university, I knew something was off. Some people were looking at me with uncertain, some empathetic, and some were just discussing something. Before we could even get to classes, Katie stormed up to me and yelled at me how I could dare to show off after all I did to her. I felt like
no.
I knew where this was going. Guilt trip in action, right? And just plainly told her to get a dose of reality and get in her head that I never had any interest with her to begin with. She yelled back that I was an awful person and I'd been leading her on for weeks and then cheat on her at the first opportunity. Walking past her to the classroom, I just said in an uncaring voice that she's delusional, because literally the first thing I said to her personally was that I'm gay. She ran off, didn't attend class that day, and all the other students were either neutral or on my side after her meltdown, and I got reinforced a lot that she just didn't care if I was interested or not, but of course she wouldn't let things stay that way. Let's go over that. What the fuck, man? What the hell?
You know, Joe,
is
I
going
didn't.
on?
I didn't realize we started a dating whole podcast. I didn't realize we did that. You know, I'm not quite sure where we shifted.
Dastardly EZ Dating. I said it at the beginning. What the fuck do you mean? Come on, man. Keep up, man.
Jesus.
30 minutes 19, just saying.
Obviously, okay. I was probably.
Do you think that this is somebody that is leading someone on?
No, and I'll tell you why. Because at no point in time did he like engage with her really in any type of
never like a friendly way, right? Like,
yeah, it was all friendly. It was all friendly. There was never any like intimacy. There was never any like bonding in that way. So I'm gonna say obviously no. OP did not lead her on because leading on requires that he
touching back and doing everything. Like if he was like touching and maybe talking swoonly,
exactly.
And
like
things like
yeah, he has to be doing stuff like that.
Like hanging out.
Yeah, exactly. He at best he's just hanging out. Like that's it. He's not leading her on. He's not like period. Bar none. Like I can feel. I felt bad. I felt bad for her a little bit until the end there, where she's clearly trying to manipulate the situation. At that point, it's like, dude, no, like he wasn't doing any of that to you. Like he wasn't. Like I felt bad for her until that point. Because at that point, dude, you're just trying to manipulate
way
this
too fucking far with the locker room.
Like
that was for me. That would have been like.
Well, even the school.
You're gonna
apparently
come to me. You're gonna come to me and yell at me like that.
She spread rumors at the school, dude. She spread rumors because like
that's why everybody's fucking like whispering and shit.
Exactly.
See, my first thing I would have said, as the spiteful, angry little man that I am, I would have been like, bro, you came into the locker room and yelled and like got really weird. Like, dude, I don't know why the fuck you did that. That's real. That's fucking creepy, right? Like that's too far. You know, I would have said that.
Yeah,
but,
no,
I mean,
it's also fair to say that.
Better man than I.
I don't know. I have never been in that situation. I know, Joe. The stud, being the stud that I am, you think I'd been in that situation once or twice, but you know, apparently never happened to me. But in all seriousness,
sometimes the horse gets stuck in the stall a little long. All right, man. Don't worry.
No. Okay. In all seriousness, I don't know how I'd handle that situation personally, because never been in it, never want to be in that type of situation. That just
she does this thing where she's always doing these things in public.
Yeah, I don't like that.
Which to me, I'm like, bro,
I don't like that.
That's the one thing where I'm like, you're trying to like, he's right. Like she's trying to emotionally manipulate you.
Yeah.
And she's being kind of a bitch about it. I mean, honestly, like that's something I would have said. Maybe like, hey, can we talk? And she's like, oh, sure. And then like, hey man, like I don't think it was very cool that you did this and this and this. I feel like you've been leading
Enforce boundaries. Enforce your boundaries.
Like, you know, like I don't know what the fuck's going on. Hey, like I'm just trying to understand. You know, like there's ways that you could have approached this, that they could have approached this. Not the OP. OP's god tier, 10 out of 10.
OP handled
11
this.
to 10.
OP handled this like
another stallion.
Just way better. Then me with my old man experience and everything like that, even I would struggle to like handle that type of situation.
Hey, women like a little gray, man. I'm just saying.
But yeah, no, I'm just saying, like that was very much a hard situation to navigate, and OP just handled it like an absolute champ. Like that dude could not have handled it any better. Like truly, just
but again, like
hands off to that guy.
She could have handled this like 100 different times.
Right? She like listen.
And Tony, we're not even done, dude.
Wait, what the fuck you mean we ain't done?
We're not done.
I thought we were done. I thought we were wrapping this.
We're at the tip of the iceberg.
Wait, what the fuck you mean we're at the tip of the iceberg?
There's still more.
How? That's the end.
No,
Joe, hang on. No, I'm sorry, Joe. This movie's dragging on now. You know, we had the build up, we had the climax, we had the third act, which kind of finished it there. Like the movie's done, Joe. The movie's done.
No, it's a sequel apparently. Yeah, so dude. This is where it gets ready. We can continue to talk more about it, but I gotta get this part out.
Okay, yeah, no, I thought we were done.
It's fucking insane.
Alright.
Insane. So, after class, she waited outside in the main hall and threw another tantrum immediately.
No.
But this time, she was so blatantly aggressive and spewed so many homophobic comments that it surprised even myself. She was angry for no reason other than her own delusion and stupidity that she didn't even care, and I said I would record it. She just kept saying that I had led her on by being a nice guy, quote. And I said, of course. And she said I was of course dating her, but cheated on her with another guy this whole time.
What the fuck?
From once to the whole time that escalated so quickly. I thought about talking back at her, but I just recorded what she said with a blank expression. It didn't feel worth the effort. And this only made her angrier and demanding an explanation to why I cheated on her. She didn't notice the police arriving at that moment, and the policewoman asked her to please calm down and explain herself. The policeman, on the other hand, asked me what was going on, and I told him as such. She tried to press that I was being toxic, manipulated, and cheated on her, but she had a hard time explaining this, especially when I casually said that I was the one who declined going into her room multiple times. She yelled at me for making a stupid argument and doubled down on her delusion, saying that we even had sex, which then he says retching sounds so right, gotta make it. I just asked her to tell me how many paws my tattoo has, and something that she would know if it was true. And the policewoman asked her politely to answer my question, and after yelling multiple times that this was misogyny and victim shaming, she said 2, likely because that's how many she saw the first time. Wrong, was my sole response, and I just walked out of the building. The policeman went outside with me while his coworker tried to calm her down. He asked how many paws it actually was, and I pulled out my shirt to show him. He gave me a compliment on it, saying it looked really nice. Quite sure he didn't mean the tattoo. Wink. Which is kind of funny. But while things calmed down in the building and she walked back to her room, the policeman asked me about the background of this, and I tried to explain as much as I could, which is to say that it wasn't much. When the policewoman arrived, she told me that Katie had agreed to stay away from me and I should keep my distance as well. I told them that I would love to never meet her again. They told me I can press charges against her for public harassment if I want to, and I just said yes because I was so annoyed. So things quieted down after that. She left the university for a few days because apparently she was too sick after this, and her parents picked her up that afternoon. Though her father seemingly wanted to talk to her cheating boyfriend, to which the other students just laughed and said she never had one. Don't know if he believed them or not, and I doubt it, but I don't really care. So now to the last part. I was called by the police a few days later and asked to sign paperwork if I really wanted to press charges. And at that point, I thought it might be a good reality check for her, and I just signed everything. Because the case was more than obvious and everything seemed but serious. She got a sentencing in short order and had to pay a small fine. I was completely okay with that and didn't press the matter any further. However, her father called me a few days after the sentencing over Telegram, right? I deleted the chat but didn't block her. My bad. And told me I destroyed her life and what an awful person I was. Apparently her employer got wind of this and she'd been fired because there's some criminal charge against her. Public harassment apparently counts as that, I guess. I just hung up on him and I overcome my surprise and just blocked her. She didn't have my number anyway. So, did I want this to happen? Absolutely not. I'm not that much revenge driven, and I actually feel a little bad for pressing charges after finding out about that. But do I care enough to fix it? No, of course not. I feel like she deserved it. So that's the story, and I hope you enjoyed reading it.
I have a hard time like saying OP was in the wrong for pressing charges.
Zero. There is zero things wrong with everything
I want to say like, oh hey, maybe that was too far, but like, dude, like she wouldn't stop. She just kept escalating and escalating and escalating and
Dastardly player for sure, man. Yeah.
Joe, they're not even in a fucking game anymore. This isn't even a Dastardly player.
Yeah,
this is a Dastardly person.
It's game to her. What do you mean? I don't get it.
Fuck, dude.
It's a game to her. It's her fantasy world, dude. She's still playing D&D.
Like that's where I'm getting like confused with it, right? Like, dude, like. He said he wasn't interested. Like that's the thing. This is not an instance where like he kind of was like.
Antonio.
He said right from the get-go, dude. Right from the start.
Right from the start.
Right from the fucking start. Like there was no preamble to it. There was no like flirting or anything like that. There was nothing.
Dude.
Zero.
Can I just state how weird it is that the dad comes into the classroom and is just like, I want to talk to this cheating boyfriend, and they're like,
It's
She never had a fucking boyfriend, dude.
See,
I don't know what
Joe,
the fuck
but
you're talking about. And that's not him. That's not
Yeah.
him saying anything. That's his classmates
I know
that are saying that, dude.
it's like I feel bad, dude. I feel bad for the dad here. Maybe I'm just too nice. Maybe I'm too nice. I feel
Antonio,
bad
I don't
for
know
the
if
dad
you've
here.
ever watched the Netflix series Baby Reindeer.
No, I have not.
Dude, this is just that. It's reminding me of that so fucking heavy because it's about this guy that gets stalked by a woman and like he's just not interested, right? He's not interested in this person, and he keeps telling them that over and over and over and over. And like he made obviously he made mistakes, and he did things that the OP definitely didn't do, like lead him on, like he did that like once or twice. But it was like a mistake on his part, and it was just a joke. He made a bad joke, and it led to a whole bunch of shit. Right, but this is not the case that way.
No,
but it just reminds me of the stalking portion because she just keeps like following him, keeps talking to him, keeps harassing him, keeps doing this, yells at him in random public spaces, doing all this other shit, and it's like, dude, who the fuck cares? Like, my man, you can't just go up to somebody and just start like harassing them in public.
Yeah. No,
it was so bad, Antonio, that the police got it. That the police got called. Think about that.
Yeah, dude.
I want you to really think about that. Like, her outburst was so bad that somebody felt they had to call the police.
That's why it's like I want to feel bad for her. I want to like, in any way, be on her side. But it's just like, bro, like, nah, dude. Like, you kept just going.
She
kept doubling down.
Yeah, she did it to herself.
She did.
And she made this whole fucking thing only about her, dude. It was like, and I understand why he keeps saying like her delusion. I will say, Antonio, I think the big pushing point for her to like, oh, well, we're dating now, I think is probably that point where he let her touch him.
Yeah, but
I think
he didn't stay though. He didn't stay. Like I get where you're coming from. Because that would be it, right? That
to me, like that is the only thing that the OP did that was like he was so nice that
it
he
had
just
to be though.
was like,
because
hey,
like
I'm just trying
what
to
else
be a good
is
guy,
there? What
trying
else
to
is
be a
there?
nice person. It's fine. Brush it off. I think that's exactly where it was when she was like, we're dating now, right? He's letting me touch her. Like, that's the only thing I can see that way, but fuck, man, what an insane story.
Just the ups and downs. The ups and downs of that story just, bruh. Like, I did not expect the police to be called at the end of that story. I'm gonna tell you that. I was not expecting that. And like, hey, chick, who you will probably never hear this podcast and never hear this episode, but like,
we just lose a sub after this episode.
just like, we lost this sub right after this episode post. I wonder what happened there. No, but like, if you ever happen to listen to this, and OP, hey, dude, again, handle it like a chick. Handle it like a champ. You did. I'm sorry if her inferring that like you letting her touch you was like, oh, we're dating now. Like, no, it doesn't work like that.
That's crazy.
So
that's
like,
crazy behavior.
It doesn't seem like he at all thought that, right? Which is good because like it obviously wasn't the case, right? But like, chick, if you're hearing this and you're listening to this, I hope you turn your life around because I would not wish like harm.
I don't wish you bad.
No, don't wish you bad.
Like
but,
bad things, right? It's like you made a mistake.
I hope you learned the lesson.
You paid dearly for the fucking mistake.
I
lost
hope
your job. You didn't.
Yes.
You had a whole bunch of shit go down. You have something on your record now.
Yeah.
Which will forever be on your record.
Yep. So I hope they turn the life around and hopefully like just kind of learn from this and just move on and just that's all I'm hoping for on that because like Jesus Christ, dude, I think that's the first arrest we've had on the show.
That's the first arrest, yeah.
The first arrest we've ever had on the show.
Cops have been mentioned.
But the first time we know someone got arrested. Yeah, they showed up and arrested someone, and charges got pressed, and like,
they did.
Hey, a charge was like, hey, like, yeah, this person, they're getting a felony charge.
Dude, it went from him just being a nice guy at a party for the first time. He's like, I don't really interact with classmates. Not really my thing. what a butterfly effect, man.
No,
What a fucking butterfly
dude, just again,
domino,
twists and
whatever effect,
turns
dude.
of this story, dude. Like, it's just
It was
insane.
just coming down so hard, dude, which is
Like,
insane.
I can't, like, I'm just surprised it escalated to that point. I did not expect that at all. I can't, I just feel bad. I feel bad for, this chick here. Like,
I feel bad for both parties equally, honestly. Like, cause like
he didn't deserve to deal with that.
He didn't deserve to do that because he's
No.
just a cool guy. He's just a guy just playing games, you know, just doing his shit, trying to make some friends in college, dude.
And
understandable.
I don't know her whole situation, but I imagine it's not great if that's kind of where you're at. And you know, maybe I don't know.
I'm just bringing it back 3019, man. You know,
Joe, we're not going there. All right, Joe.
Crazy.
Joe, all I'm saying is if you judge a person purely by looks, sir, you're not gonna get very far. That's all I'm saying. That's all I'm throwing out there. That's all I'm doing.
Like I said in 3220, if you're ugly on the inside, you're probably ugly on the outside.
Jesus Christ. All right.
Come on, Antonio, you're
let's
a bad
wrap
person.
this up. Let's wrap this
anyway,
up.
Yeah, the other thing I was gonna say is that I don't personally really think that's, I don't know. She's just got, if she's done something, dude, it takes to me like, if you do this, if you've done this now, maybe you've done it before.
God, I hope not.
I'm just saying, usually that's the case. I don't know.
Again, I would hope not. I would hope not. I just.
No, if she's listening, don't do it again. That's probably not gonna go good for you. Third time, fourth time.
Jesus, Joe.
Second time? I don't know. Whoever. But yeah, OP, you're goated 10 out of 10.
Yeah.
I have nothing more, Antonio, unless you have some really, really, really minute, specific TTRPG.
Yeah, I do. I got something. Hang on. All right, players. This is on us, players. This is on us this time, guys. We can't blame DMs for this one. You know, obviously, if you see this going on at your table, be supportive to your GM. Try to help him out. Try to maybe talk to this other friend and talk them down a little bit. All I can say at this point, that's all the TTRPG advice I can give you here, because like,
hey, that's good. That's good anyway. At least we got one. We got one this whole hour. We have one piece of advice for our TTRPG group. So yeah.
Well, again, Joe, this kind of turned into fucking like you said, Dastardly EZ Dating. Like, my God, like I did not expect this in this episode. Very light on the TTRPG in this episode. I'm just saying.
I had to pick it because it was different. And
fair.
It was a big comeback for our third to last episode.
Yeah, Jesus,
we have something
Joe.
really, really special for you guys next time too. It's
Yep.
gonna be really fun. And for our last one, I guarantee you that one's gonna be about 2+ hours.
Nice. All right.
So
Good.
final episode.
For that.
Expect a beefy upload. It's gonna be so awesome. We're back into DED. We'll get some interviews here and there. But for now, we're gonna just stick with DED stuff and we'll pop a interview here and there. But yeah, make sure to go check out us playing Paradigm and Reemergence on the Patreon. It's like $2 a month. You know, that's less than your McDonald's sandwich. I'm just saying, you know, affordable to listen to us ramble and ramble.
I think it's less than a McDonald's soda at this point.
I was just gonna say, it's a better deal than the McDonald's dollar menu, which is no longer now. So yeah, I mean, if you want to support some two rambling guys about dating and all these other things, and see some crazy episodes that we've had in the past, ad free, because maybe you don't like listening to 5 minutes of us spieling about ourselves, and that's fine. It's fine. It's wherever. Yeah, it's cool. I get it. Maybe you just don't like it. But
everybody hurt inside, he won't tell you that though.
Yeah, I'm not hurt. Don't believe me. It's not like you're tearing the Band-Aid off really fast. But thank you guys all for the support and everything. It's been so much fun to do this and be able to do everything. I haven't been able to say it in a long time. But yeah, I appreciate it. All the assistance and over on the Discord, it's fucking awesome to see how many people we have in there now. We're closing in on 100 here, and like it's gonna be really awesome to reach every height. And I really look forward to our backer kit with Reemergence 1.05 coming out this September, and so it's gonna be a lot of fun. We have a physical book and everything, so yes, you could add it to your collection, your endless collection of books. But Antonio, I'd just like to say, remember DMs, stay dastardly.